At IDE, we talk about problem-based learning as the core of the learner-active technology-infused classroom. You may be wondering, what's the difference between project-based learning and problem-based learning? In project-based learning, students create a product of some sort that represents the content. For example, students may make a working model of a volcano as part of a unit on landforms. They may design an election booth and ballots as part of a unit on the election process. They may write a summarizing book report in response to reading a novel. Problem-based learning is a subset of project-based learning. That means that all problem-based units are also project-based, but not all project-based units are problem-based. In the learner-active technology-infused classroom, we use problem-based learning to drive the learning of content by addressing a problem. The problem is open-ended with no one right answer, and is authentic, preferably based upon a real-world problem. For example, students might approach the problem of people living near Kilauea, the active volcano on the island of Hawaii. Is it safe to live there? How far from the volcano would be safe? What is the probability of a major eruption in the next 100 years? Students could create a city plan that takes into account potential evacuation routes from the area. In order to do this well, they need to have a solid understanding of the structure of a volcano and the geologic activity. Just as with the project, they create a product. However, in the problem-based version, they are addressing an authentic problem or issue one could address if they understood the content. Instead of simply writing a summarizing book report in response to a novel reading, students could consider how to convince the author to create their next story in the local community. The teacher may ask students to consider whether any stories they have read are set in their community. Chances are not many. Students could discuss how this type of attention might highlight their community and what kind of arguments might convince an author to do so. They could write a short excerpt of that story set in their town as part of their effort. When students are invested in grappling with an authentic problem, they experience a felt need to learn the information and skills that will better enable them to solve that problem. Instead of learning curricular content in isolation, or just because the teacher says so, they gain this learning within the context of a meaningful product that can make a difference in their world. For more information, check out the following.